Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
In the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike.
We're going in and out of the Trump press conference. He just addressed the semaglutide shot, the Ozempic. We just don't deserve this guy. We just don't. I mean, the big announcement today, the drug prices being slashed with an executive order, the trade agreement with China, stock market is roaring. I mean, today's a good day to look at your 401k. Today's a good day to celebrate the Trump economy. And, you know, what makes me sad, I'm asking you the question, do Democrats really want the country to fail? You know what they miss out on with all their Trump hatred? And there's plenty of never-Trumpers who have the same affliction. They're not having any fun. And the guy is so much fun. I mean, first of all, he's funny, but it's a joyful... I just talked to somebody in the White House the other day. They said, you can't believe what a great mood he's in all the time. He feels so driven and satisfied and fulfilled because he's fighting. The guy doesn't sleep. Morning, noon, and night, he's fighting for the American people. And it's just, I'm a little sad for some of these people, for many of them. Here's an example of the fun that is Donald Trump. He's talking about the weight loss shot. You know, that's been the latest craze, to get a shot in the belly. Let me play for you what Trump said about the semaglutide Ozempic shot in the stomach. In his own inimitable way, he calls it the fat shot. And he's got a buddy who's a wealthy businessman who's obese and gets the shot. President Trump, being the good friend he is, had to point out, hey, buddy, the shot ain't working.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. Said, President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
I told him the fat shot isn't working. Oh, my goodness. Mike's in Tampa, Florida. Hey, Mike, thanks for holding. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good. Yeah, the Democratic Party definitely wants to try and destroy this country. I mean, it's been their plan ever since Carter got in. They undermine everything that's good for America. And yeah, they're here just to hurt the country and destroy it.
I mean, if one of them came out, Mike, and said, you know what, I don't like the guy, but lowering drug prices for seniors, that's a good thing. You know, I'm not a fan of Trump's style, but getting this young man back from Hamas, the last remaining living American hostage, that's a good thing. If they were able to do that, then you'd say, well, at least they don't hate America. But, Mike, I have a heart. There was a time when you would have called my show and you'd say that, and I'd say, no, come on. They can't hate the country. Mike, I think they do.
They definitely do. I mean, why else would you allow 20 million people to come into your country?
Correct. Why would you want this invasion, and then when you try to get them to go back to their country, you throw a fit?
Right, and it's because they're not playing by the rules. They have a set of rules that they don't have any rules, and they do whatever they want. And the Republican Party always tries to play by the rules and then we end up getting screwed in the long run because we're trying to be the good guy.
Correct.
So it's time to stop being the good guy.
Well,
okay?
and at this point...
It's time to stop. It's time to, I tell these Christians all the time, it's time to put down the Bibles and pick up your swords. We're at war. We're at war for this country, and half the countries, or more than half the countries, asleep.
You'll appreciate this text I got from South Carolina. Russ writes, when you have the enemy on their knees, you got to pound them into oblivion. Trump should keep his foot down on the accelerator. China wants us dead. We should want the same for them. Trump is destroying the commies without having to fire a single shot. I mean, it is time to stop. We tried the years of George W. Bush and John McCain and all the nice guys, the Mitt Romneys and the Jeb Bushes. It's gone. It's over. It didn't work. Where did it get us? Where did it get us? Well, it got it. Now we're at a place where there is a new dawn. This golden era. This absolute golden era. Let's go back to the White House. Cut 17, Christian, on drug prices. This is the president. He also starts taking questions, and I want you to hear what he says about the plane from Qatar, because that's all they were hyperventilating about all weekend. Oh, he's getting a $400 million plane. This is grift. It's a graft. It's corruption. And meanwhile, Scott Bessent at 3 a.m. Eastern time, our time, is announcing the trade deal with China. After goofballs like Chris Murphy of Connecticut said on social media yesterday, there's no deal. There's no deal. They're making it up. Oh, yeah, there's a deal. And there's a deal on drug prices, too. Let's take you back to the White House.
Starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries, which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health care. Countries where they paid a small fraction of what, for the same drug, that what we pay many, many times more for. And we'll no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma. But again, it was really the countries that forced Big Pharma to do things that, frankly, I'm not sure they really felt comfortable doing. But they've gotten away with it, these countries. European Union has been brutal. And the drug companies actually told me stories. It was just brutal how they forced them. And European Union suing all our companies, Apple, Google, Meta. They're suing all of our companies. They end up, they have judges that are European Union-centric, and they get rewarded $15 billion, $17 billion, $20 billion, and they use that to run their operation. Not going to happen any longer, that I can tell you.
You know, this is all so monumental today, and again, can't say it enough. The stock market is just, it's like soaring like a meteor. I mean, it's just like a rocket ship, which is trillions of dollars being added to the stock market right now. But to me, one of the most significant news items of the last 12 hours was Scott Bessent in the middle of the night making this announcement about the trade deal with China. And listen to what he confirmed about why China came to the table with Donald Trump. They have the opportunity to do so with the Biden administration. But listen to what the Treasury Secretary says about why China didn't want to play ball with Joe Biden.
What has to happen is it has to be fair for the American people. But in January 2020, President Trump produced a template. We had an excellent trade agreement with China, and the Biden administration chose not to enforce it. The Chinese delegation basically told us that once President Biden came into office, they just ignored their obligations. So, we all already have a large framework. The other thing to remember here, Jonathan, is that this is a pause down to 10%. The April 2nd level for China is 34%. So we will be working to see where their final reciprocal number ends up. And the negotiations are a combination of tariffs, non-tariff trade barriers, currency manipulation, and subsidies of labor and capital.
Wow, that's huge. And think about what the bullet we dodged with Trump winning in November. You think China would be more inclined to do business with Kamala Harris? You think they would have seen her as strength? Are you kidding me? Wow. We are so blessed. We are so fortunate. We are so lucky right now to be in the position we're in. And I feel so optimistic about the way things are going. And I am not only just disgusted with the other side, but disappointed that they're missing out on all the fun.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.